Where were you individually and as a team before this engagement started?
Thank you for the question. This journey started about 12 months ago, and it seems ages ago. And it started because I felt really stuck with my operation team. It's a larger team, around 12 people, coming from different regions, different experiences, having roles in their own area of specialty. And I felt that they were working well together in the previous 4 years, but there was a lot that was on the table and not really used. And I also felt quite frustrated because I tried everything that was in my possibilities, my knowledge, or even in the, say, organizational leverage, but I couldn't move a certain attitude.
Didn't feel that was a team. I mean, it was a group of people with similar level of responsibility, in charge of some functional area, representing it, but not necessarily working together, not necessarily having too many common opportunity to combine them. And I think we started this part because there was a common feeling that we were, the lesser son within the organization. And therefore, to change things, this required some individual change as well as a collective one.
What were the objectives for the team in performing this intervention?
The core objective, and very much based on the discussions that I'd had with Carolina and my perception as I started working with the team, because I was actually quite new to working with the team in that particular area of the business, was how to position themselves for the future of the business, how to be a fundamental and core part of the future of the business, how to understand how they needed to be innovative, how to restructure in a very practical way, and how to be, I suppose, designers of their own destiny, if you like.
And where are you now, 12 months on, individually and as a team?
If you're thinking about music, then I would say now we find a rhythm. We find a rhythm together.
Are there any early indications that your efforts are creating a positive impact within the operations team and the wider Pioneer environment?
I think they've made a huge amount of progress, and I can see that. I can see very practical examples of that in terms of if there's any sort of points of conflict, they're much more open now about addressing those and dealing with any sort of residue that may be in the team. They're much more collaborative in terms of working together. And I think that the sense that I'm, certainly as people speak to me and that I'm picking up myself, is this sense of they have each other's back and the trust level within the team. And I come back to that again, the belief in the team that they can make significant changes and that they can be a core part of the business going forward in comparison to where they may have perceived themselves a year ago is huge. I think there's a way to go. As I said, this isn't a magic wand.
The result of this journey is very significant because I think that we have changed our way to work together in the Operation GOC team, and you can feel this new spirit, this new energy in the team.
The people who changed made a fantastic, jump themselves and their teams. Impressive. I think that this is visible. It's visible on the delivery, on the quality.
How has Xenergie been of assistance to you during this journey?
I would say that without Xenergie we could have not even started this journey because we had no knowledge about systemic team coaching.
I really think it's a valuable process, and it's not only the process. I think it's the tools that are given to the individuals within the team in terms of making sense of the business environment are invaluable, and the ability you know, for Xenergie to hold up a mirror to the business, and to be able to challenge and to be able to address things that may have been perceived as insurmountable, you know, a number of months ago, it can be hugely valuable. And if, you know, leaders and managers can build the ability to understand the systemic team approach to business, they can really get beneath quite complex areas and understand what needs to change.
Lorna, systemic coaching, what is it, and what's this systemic coaching certificate about?
Okay, with systemic team coaching, we're looking at how organisations unlock problems. So whether those problems are to create efficiencies or whether to innovate, or in these days, how an organisation can adapt its culture to be able to work with very different and challenging circumstances, to be able to work at the speed, the pace, the velocity, the complexity, and very importantly to be able to manage a number of different ambiguities and polarities in their work. And this is all very new for most leaders today, and the majority of people have not been trained to work in this way. So systemic team coaching is an intervention, a framework for how to work and adapt your culture to work in this way, and we do this by working through teams. So this develops a team from becoming a group of individuals who are trying to get along in their work and create improvements, but are struggling, not because they're not good at their jobs, but simply because conditions have significantly changed externally and they need to keep up and adapt and change the way that they do things. And every organisation these days needs to work at this. This is not something that people have been taught to do at all, largely in their life so far. The realisation of the extent of this problem is much more acknowledged today, but still under-acknowledged. There's a lot of denial from some people that anything needs to change. But the old ways of working do not work, and organisations, leaders need new ways of working in order to do this. So that's what we do.
How do you see what Xenergie have to offer in this space?
Xenergie are unique for me in terms of companies I've come across, John, because they have, what you might call some of the tools and techniques that deal with the behaviours and the values that end, but they also have this systemic team coaching process which they're working with and developing, and that's a process which is in this territory of helping teams to actually uncover the unconscious and bring attention and insight to that and help teams transform that. So for me this is a really key thing to be bringing to the market, and that Xenergie have, that has the potential to really help teams to shift their game.